Hello students, today we are going to learn the technique of measuring length of a given object using slide caliper. Basically in our syllabus we have three types of length measuring instrument. One is your slide caliper, second one is your screw gauge, third one is your speedometer. So today's video we will discuss about slide caliper. So the experiment starts with the aim. So here the aim is to find out the volume of a hollow or solid cylinder using slide caliper. So you can see this is a hollow cylinder and this battery can be treated as a solid cylinder. It has got its internal diameter, then external diameter, then it has got some height, and this solid cylinder is having its height and external diameter. So by using the instrument called slide caliper, we will be able to measure the height and the diameter of the given cylinder. So I want to tell you why this is called slide caliper, because you see in this scale a small sliding scale is there above this main scale. I will tell you the each and every part of the scale. For the time being, you just know why the name is slide caliper, because a small scale is sliding above it. That's why we call it a slide caliper. So the apparatus we need for is only the slide caliper and your given specimen. Here our given specimen is the solid or the hollow cylinder. Okay. So sometimes the slide caliper is also known as vernier caliper. The name vernier came from the French engineer Pierre Vernier. He has contributed this instrument so for the simplicity and accuracy in the measurement. Okay, so you can see the diagram I have drawn here, because to show each and every part of this instrument we need to draw it in a bigger space so that you will be able to distinguish each and every part of the instrument. Okay, so this is called the upper jaws of the slide caliper. This is the lower jaws, and this is the vernier scale. You can see the small one is the vernier scale. This is the upper jaw. I have drawn it here. This is the lower jaw, and this is the tail. This is the tail, and this one is the main scale. And this smaller one which is sliding is called the vernier scale. Okay. So let me tell you what is the application of these jaws. So by using the upper jaws, you can measure the internal diameter of a given hollow cylinder. By using the upper jaws, you can measure the internal diameter. By using the lower jaw, you can measure the external diameter, and also you can measure the height. So these are the application. Another thing I want to tell you, this portion is fixed. You can see this is not moving. This is fixed jaw, and this jaw is moving or changing. Okay. So this is movable and this is fixed. So this is about the diagram. And why we use this cell? Let me tell you. Suppose you have imagine a metal glass, in which the bottom is closed. So if the base is closed of a particular glass, then we need to find the height or depth of that glass. Then by using this tail we can find it, because the base is closed now, so you cannot just like this you cannot find the height. You can find the external height, but for the depth part you have to take the help of this tail to find the depth. Okay, so this is all about the various parts of the slide caliper. Now you can see in the diagram I have drawn some divisions up to 10 centimeter. I have shown it in the diagram. So you see some divisions are also shown in this small scale, that is the vernier scale I am saying here. Some divisions are also shown in the vernier scale, and some divisions are also present in the main scale up to 10 centimeter. Okay. So the main scale is very similar to our normal scale that we use in our day-to-day life. And now the question arises, why and how? Why means why we need this scale. We have already our normal scale, so why we need this scale, and how we measure the length. So let me answer the question of why first. We need this because of the demand of more accuracy. Sometimes accuracy is very important that we cannot ignore them. Even though it is a very small value, we cannot ignore them. For very high precision, we need the accuracy. In our normal scale, the lowest measurement is 0.1 centimeter. That means below 0.1 centimeter, we cannot measure the length. But in case of our slide caliper, the minimum measurement is 0.01. That we call least count or the minimum measurement. I will tell you how this 0.01 centimeter came. I will tell you. But for the time being, you just know that the minimum measurement of this slide caliper is 0.01, which is very less as compared to our normal scale. So it will give us a reading which is corrected up to 2 decimal places. Means you will get a reading like 4.57, 4.77. This means like you will get the reading up to 2 decimal places. Correction up to 2 decimal places. Okay. So this is the reason that why we need this. Second question is how we will measure the length. You can see in the male scale, it started with the 0 line. This 0 indicates that this line is called the 0 line. Here also in the vernier scale, you see first line is started with a 0, that is called the 0 line. So, as you know, this jaw is movable and this jaw is fixed. When you completely close both the jaws, just like this, when you completely close both the jaws, that means no object is placed in between the jaw. That means the length is 0. So in simple word, I will say that how you will know the length, when you will be able to measure the distance between two zeros. Two zeros means this is one first zero, this is second zero. These are the two zeros. When you will be able to measure the distance between two zeros, that will call the length of the curve. Now you can see, suppose I want to find the external diameter of this hollow cylinder. I have placed the object in between the lower jaw. So as I told you, if you want to know the length, means here the diameter is considered as the length, you have to find a distance between two zeros. So after taking the measurement, I will remove this and if I will be able to find the distance between these two zeros, then it will give me the length part. So my objective will be achieved, because my objective is finding the length only. Because when we will be able to find the length, then it will be very easier for us to find the volume. Okay. So distance between two zeros will give you the length. So let me tell you how the list count came into picture. So before going to explain you how this list count came into picture, let me tell you another information about this vernier scale, upon which principle this vernier scale work. This is called the Vernier's principle. That suppose I have taken one example here. This is not the part of this diagram. Just for an example, I have shown here. Suppose I have a fixed length. Suppose I have a fixed length here. The length is fixed. Okay. So I have divided the length into 11 divisions, and I called it bottom scale. So this bottom scale, length is fixed here, but the bottom scale I have given 11 divisions, and I called it a bottom scale of 11 divisions. And the same length I have divided it in different separations. Like here it is 8 divisions, and I called it a top scale. So according to Vernier principle, if the length is fixed, no matter how many divisions you draw on that length, both will be equivalent, because the length is fixed. You see, here as the length is fixed, so I can also write 8 division of top scale. 8 division of top scale is equal to 11 division of bottom scale. There is nothing confusion in that. There is no confusion because you see the length is fixed. I have only changed the separation. Here there are 11 divisions because the separation is less, and in the above scale I have done 8 division and the separation is little bit more as compared to this. But the length is fixed, that's why I have written 8 division of top scale is equal to 11 division of bottom scale. This is very important because based upon that we will calculate the least count of that instrument, and least count is very important thing to know for a particular instrument, because if you don't know what is the minimum measurement the instrument can measure, you cannot be able to find the error, because least count has got its application in error calculation also. Also the vernier scale reading, I will tell you what is vernier scale reading. Okay, so now we will understand how to find the least count. The formula for least count is 1 main scale division, shortcut में MSD, minus 1 vernier scale division, that is VSD. The formula is 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. So now you will understand why I told you about this principle, because this relation is completely based upon this understanding. How I found this? Now you just forget about this diagram, because for an example I have shown you, but this is the real picture of this scale I have shown in this diagram. Okay, so this is the real picture. Here you see, you know that there are so many divisions in the main scale. The main scale is this one I have written here. Okay, and there are some divisions in the vernier scale. When you completely close the jaws, what you will see, the 0 of this main scale will coincide with the 0 of this vernier scale. Okay, so the 0 of this main scale will coincide with the 0 of this vernier scale. When this will happen, you will observe that this length is fixed. Then you will try to calculate the divisions. Suppose I want to calculate how many divisions are there in the main scale. How I will calculate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 divisions are there. Okay. Similarly, in the vernier scale, I again have to calculate the divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 divisions are there. As per this principle, length is fixed. That's why I can write 10 division of vernier scale, because I have counted 10 divisions, and is equivalent to or is equal to 9 division of main scale. So you see, I have not written anything new. Whenever you will perform the experiment, you will by yourself calculate the divisions. You will see that 10 division of vernier scale is equivalent to 9 division of main scale. So then 1 VSD is equal to 9 by 10 MSD. So after getting this value, I will put this value here, because here it is 1 main scale division and it is 1 vernier scale division. This is the formula, but this is in one scale, this is in another scale. So definitely I have to convert any one of them into a similar parameter, otherwise I cannot subtract the value, right? So that's why I got the relation here. 1 VSD is equal to 9 by 10 MSD. Then I will rewrite the formula. LC, least count, is equal to 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. In place of 1 VSD, I wrote 9 by 10 MSD. So after doing the subtraction, I got 1 by 10 MSD. So here I got least count is equal to 1 by 10 MSD. So now I want to find the answer in terms of centimeter, because our ultimate answer will be in centimeter, right? Because this is shown in centimeter here. So that's why I will convert this division into centimeter. So we know that our main scale is very similar to the normal one division is equivalent to 0.1 centimeter. So I will simply what I will do? I will multiply this 0.1 centimeter with this 1/10. Means one main scale division is equal to 0.1 centimeter, because your main scale is very similar to your normal scale. So one main scale division is equal to 0.1 centimeter. So least count is equal to 1/10 MST. So in place of 1 MST, I will write 1/10 into 0.1 centimeter, and final answer will be 0.01 centimeter. This is the least count. So after knowing the value of least count that we got here 0.01 centimeter, we will be able to find the observed length of our given object, which is given by the length is equal to main scale reading plus vernier scale reading. So main scale reading can be easily found out from the main scale, but this vernier scale reading is very important, because the LC came into picture in this vernier scale reading. Okay. So before going to tell you how to find main scale reading and vernier scale reading, let me tell you the most important part of this experiment, that is the error calculation. Because it is not always necessary that the instrument which is given to you is error free. You might see some manufacturing defect in the instrument and it contains some kind of error. So as our purpose is to find the accurate measurement of a given object, so that's why it is very important to take this error into consideration, because this will avoid the unnecessary mistakes and the inaccuracy in the measurement. Okay. So I will tell you how to do the error calculation here. So there are generally two types of error. One is called your positive zero error, another is your negative zero error. Let me tell you how. You know that in the vernier scale, two zeros are there. So when you will see, you will completely close the jaw. When you completely close the jaw, and if you observe that these two zeros are not coming in a single line. For example, suppose in this case, these two zeros are in the same line. That means I will say that this instrument is completely error free. There is no error in this instrument. But if the zero of the vernier scale lie little bit at the right side from this zero of the main scale, then this right side will tell you the positive zero error. This is called the positive zero error. Let me show you in the instrument itself. Let me tell you. Okay, you can see You can see this instrument contains positive zero error. You can see the zero of this vernier scale is not coinciding with the zero of this main scale. So when you will observe such type of things, you will call this as positive zero error. Similarly, if the reverse will happen, if the zero of this vernier scale will shift in the left side of from the zero of this main scale, then we will call it as negative zero error. So this is a two types of error. So whenever some instrument is given to you, first of all, the first thing you have to do is you have to first close the jaw and check whether your instrument is error free or if it contains any error. So if it is error free, then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to take the error into consideration. But if it contains error, you have to first know which kind of error it is, whether it is positive error or negative error. So in case of positive error, the formula is actual reading, because final answer will be our actual reading. As this contains positive zero error, that means some extra reading is coming, right? Positive means it is a little bit in this direction, so some extra, this error is giving some extra reading to to our observed length. So what we will do to find the error-free calculation, we will do the actual reading will be this is the error-free reading is equal to observed reading. Observed reading means what we have found by adding this main scale reading and vernier scale reading. Then we will subtract the positive zero error. Why subtract? Because this is extra added, because this is in the right direction. So some extra reading is coming. So we will subtract the positive zero error from the observed reading, and that will give us the actual reading, which is the error free. Okay. In the second case, what we will do, if we have located negative zero error, we will simply add the negative zero error to the observed reading to get the error free actual reading. Okay. So this formula is clear. So now how we will calculate this error? The formula is very simple. The error can be calculated by multiplying the least count with vernier coincidence. So I will tell you more about the vernier coincidence, then I will tell you how to find the error, and also I will tell you how to find the vernier scale reading. So now let us understand how to find the observed length, which is given by main scale reading plus vernier scale reading. So the observed length means when you will place a object in between the jaws of a slide caliper, then the distance between two zero that I have told you earlier, that the distance between two zero will give you the observed length. So you know how to find the error. I will tell you the formula for error also, but for the time being, you just understand how to find the observed length first. Okay, this is given by main scale reading plus vernier scale reading. So now let us understand how to find the main scale reading. You see here, this is the position 1. This I have drawn to make you understand about the divisions while calculating the least count. But suppose in this position no object is placed in between the jaws. That's why they are completely closed and both the lines are coinciding. But in the second position, I just placed an object. Here I am measuring the external diameter. After placing this object, I want to find the length. So this is given by this drawing, position 2. In position 2, suppose after spreading these two jaws and after removing this cylinder, after placing this cylinder and after removing this, suppose this is shown by this diagram here, the position 2. So you see, to find main scale reading, it is very simple. For main scale reading, you have to focus on the main scale only. You don't have to look to the vernier scale. Okay, just focus on the main scale. So you will see the zero line of the vernier scale is somewhere in the middle of these two divisions. The zero line of this vernier scale is in between these two divisions of the main scale. So to find the main scale reading, you see, this is your simple normal centimeter scale. Starting from 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and so on. So this zero line, you have to see where the zero line of this vernier scale is indicating on the main scale. Let me repeat. You see, this you have to look at this line, and where it is situated, you have to spot from this scale, main scale. So this is like a mark. This mark will give you the main scale reading. Okay. So main scale reading, you see, lies between 2 cm and 2.1 cm. See, in between these two, this is 2 cm, this is 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 like this. So this zero line of this vernier scale lies between 2 and 2.1. But as I told you, the main scale reading will be calculated from the main scale. So you will consider the smallest reading. Because why I am saying this? because you see, you don't know this length as it is in the middle. You don't know this length, so we will consider the smallest one. Here, the main scale reading lies between 2 centimeter and 2.1 centimeter. When this type of situation you will see, you always consider the smallest one, because this gap will be calculated by vernier scale in the vernier scale reading. Okay, this gap will be calculated by the vernier scale in your vernier scale reading, which we will talk about later. So now you understood how to find the main scale reading. Similarly, is somewhere here, suppose somewhere here you got the vernier scale, the zero line of the vernier scale, then what you have to take the main scale reading? First you will see that where it is located in the main scale. It is between, this is 3, this is 3, this is 3.4 and this is 3.5. So it is in between 3.4 and 3.5. So the main scale reading will be 3.4. Smallest one you have to consider. Now let us move to vernier scale reading. So now come to the vernier scale reading. The vernier scale reading, the formula is BC into LC. Vernier coincidence into least count. We already found the value of least count for the given instrument, that is 0.01 centimeter. Now we have to find the vernier coincidence. You always remember that the value of the vernier coincidence is always a positive number. It is not like 2.3, 3.1 or 2.5, not like that. It will be always a number between 0 to 10, a positive number. Okay. So let us focus on that diagram again. How to find the vernier coincidence? Very simple, very simple. You see, for vernier coincidence, the complete focus will now go to the vernier scale. We will ignore the, not ignore, but we will completely focus on the vernier scale. In the main scale reading, we are only using the zero line of this vernier scale to find the main scale reading. But in case of vernier coincidence, we will completely focus on the vernier scale, and little bit use of main scale will give us the vernier coincidence. How to find? So now for vernier coincidence, you have to ignore the zero line of the vernier scale. You have to ignore the zero line of the vernier scale, and then we have to see which line of the vernier scale will coincide. Coincide means completely in one line, one single line. Then we will say that is the value of the vernier coincidence. Means the line of the main scale will coincide with the line of the vernier scale. That means they are in the single line, one single line. Okay. So for BC, we will ignore the zero line. The first step is ignore the zero line. Then one by one you have to check. So for that you have to place your vernier scale completely in front of your eye in order to avoid mistake. Because if you watch like this or if you watch like this, you will not get the accurate value of BC. So you have to completely put the vernier scale in the front of your eye. Okay. So ignore the zero line. Then you see, look at the first line. This is not coinciding with any line of the main scale. So this cannot be the vernier coincidence. This is also not coinciding. The second line is also not coinciding because it is here, not in the straight line. The fourth one is also not in the straight line. But why I have given the blue dots here? You see, the fifth line is completely in one single line. If I will join these two, they will come in the one single line. So this will give you the vernier coincidence. Because if you see further, there may be some other line which will coincide, but we have to consider the smallest one, the first line which will coincide with the line of the, with any of the division of the main scale. The first. Further, if you see, you may get some other lines which are also coinciding with the main scale, but our primary concern is we have to locate the first line, the first and the foremost line of the vernier scale which is coinciding with any of the division of the main scale. So here you see this line is coinciding with the division of, any of the division of the main scale. So now how you will find the vernier coincidence? You have to ignore the zero line. I have already told you. You have to count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here the vernier coincidence is 5. I found from the diagram vernier coincidence is 5. So after knowing this 5, it is very easy to find the value of DSR. 5 into 0.01 centimeter, that will give you 0.05 centimeter. It is very easy because the value of discount is fixed for a particular instrument. Okay. So if the instrument contained error, how to find the value of the error? Why I told you, I have not told you about the calculation because the concept of VC was not understood at that time. So now you understood the concept of VC, vernier coincidence, how to find the vernier coincidence. Now it will be easier for us to find the, to calculate the value of this error. So first of all, I already told you, you have to locate whether your instrument is having positive zero error or negative zero error. Once you know, suppose it is having positive zero error, now what you have to do? You have to follow the same procedure you followed for vernier coincidence. You have to simply check which line, which division of this vernier scale, this is main scale, this is vernier scale, which division of this vernier scale will coincide with the any division of the main scale. You see, suppose for example just a rough diagram, suppose the fifth line is coinciding with the division of the main scale, like in case of this, coming in the straight line. So you will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to count the 0. Okay, 5. So here BC is 5. BC is 5. So you will multiply 5 with least count and you will get the value of the positive error. After getting positive error, you have to subtract positive error from the observed reading. I have already told you how to find the observed length or observed reading. You will simply subtract the positive error from that. You will get the actual reading. In case if the error is there, if no error is there, this is the final answer. If you add them, MSR plus DSR, this is the, after adding, this is the final answer. In case of negative zero error, if this zero line is coming, shifted to left side of the left side from the zero of the main scale, then here also you will see that which line of the vernier scale is coinciding with the main scale, and accordingly you will calculate. You see, suppose the here, suppose the third line, suppose for example, suppose the third line is coinciding, so you will calculate this is 1, 2, 3. Ignore the zero line. So here BC is 3. Then you multiply this 3 with least count and you will find out the value of the negative zero error. After finding this value, the actual reading will be observed length plus negative. Why plus? Because this is in the left side. So okay. So this is the way how to find the positive zero error or negative zero error and then the answer of this.